Hi, welcome to my channel, My Great Wall of Manga. I'm Amanda, and I've been in love with manga for well over a decade. In fact, I even built a wall out of it. On this channel, I'll be pulling a series off the wall at random, and we'll go over a quick summary, introduce you to some of the main characters of the series, and I'll give you 5 reasons why you should read this manga. Okay, in this episode, we're going to be looking at the manga Tactics. Story and art by Sakura Kinoshita and Yasuko Higashiyama. Okay, the story of Tactics is about Kantaro. As a boy, he grew up being able to see yokai and talk to them, like spirits and things. And humans kinda thought that was kind of creepy, so he was treated pretty badly. So instead of dealing with humans that didn't like him anyway, Kentaro decided to become friends with the yokai he could see and talk to. Now as an adult, he writes as a folklorist, which is a kind of Japanese lore researcher. And he travels around Japan trying to help yokai and people being troubled by them. But mostly he's there to help the yokai. The story begins when Kentaro is actually trying to find a powerful tengu that he's heard legends about, and he wants to become friends with him and, have him as his sidekick, kind of. Now for the characters. Of course, there's the main character, Kentaro. He's very friendly, almost clingy to yokai. He's very into making friends with yokai. Conversely, he is kind of miserly and greedy and manipulative to humans. Like, if he sees a rich person and they're having trouble with anything, he will try to make it a yokai problem so he can go and fix it for them. Of course, for a huge fee. What's kind of interesting is, though Kentaro wants to become friends with yokai, he actually has the ability to control them. And if he gives them a name, like a personal name, then he gets to capture them. As in, they can't leave him, and they can't disobey a direct order from him. So, though he's very friendly with yokai, and he doesn't abuse this ability much, he does have that ability. Next up is Haruka. Haruka is the powerful tengu that Kentaro was looking for. When Kentaro finally finds him, and Haruka was kind of sealed in a sacred boulder, and when Kentaro breaks the boulder open and releases Haruka, his personality is not that grateful. He's kind of aloof, stubborn. He doesn't really want to listen to Kentaro. He doesn't really trust Kentaro, which, that's kind of understandable, considering Kentaro's abilities. And another thing is, when Haruka gets really angry, he kind of goes berserk, and thankfully Kentaro's around, because when Haruka goes berserk, he will attack anybody and anything. So Kentaro can thankfully kind of rein him in, and so he doesn't, completely blow up buildings and kill everybody. Next up is Yoko. Yoko is a fox yokai, and she works as a maid in Kentaro's house. And she definitely is kind of cynical. She's seen Kentaro plenty to know that though he might have a cute boyish face, he's also super miserly and manipulative. So you can't always trust him. And she tends to nag a lot. She hates being poor, because Kentaro, as a writer, usually doesn't meet his deadlines, and his books don't even sell that well. So he's poor most of the time, and she's not a big fan of that. and she's always bemoaning how overworked she is. She might be his friend, but she's not very happy about working for him. Okay, and 5 reasons why you should read the manga Tactics. Number 1, it's very cute and funny. The artwork it leans more on the kind of cutesy side, and so a lot of the yokai are kind of chibi-fied and that sort of thing. So it's a cute, funny, kind of lighthearted thing, not too serious at all. Number 2, it happens in the Taisho era, or the 1920s. That's a really fun era in Japanese history, when there was kind of an interesting blend of European and traditional Japanese styles of clothes and music and culture, and there was a lot of development in education and cultural arts. There was a huge development in that. So it was a really interesting, fun time of history. So it's kind of cool that this manga is set in that time. Number 3, Japanese folklore. If you want to learn more about Japanese folklore, specifically in like spirits and rural traditions and superstitions, then this is a pretty good manga series for learning more about that. It goes into, I would say, somewhat obscure traditions and superstitions. Nothing too abstract, but yeah, it goes into a bit more detail of some of these traditions. Number 4, it's fast-paced and the story arcs are pretty short. So if you want something that you can just grab and read a few chapters, or sometimes the story arcs are like 1 chapter, and you can just read it super quick and put it down, and you don't have to figure out, okay, where was I in the story? Not big stories, it's like a collection of really short stories. So it's very convenient if you're going to get interrupted a lot. Number 5, if you like Natsume Yujincho or Kami-sama Kiss or Inuyasha, you'll probably like this. There's elements of all of those in this manga. I mean, you got the rural folklore and superstition of Natsume Yujincho. You have the continuous main characters that are yokai, kind of like Kami-sama Kiss, and you get more of the troublesome spirits and curses that you would find in Inuyasha. So it's really a fun blend of kind of all 3 of those. So that's it for my review of Tactics. Thank you for visiting my channel, My Great Wall of Manga. If you're interested in anime too, please visit my website, animehanabi.com.